Well, my name is Kyrsten Sinema. I'm a state representative in Arizona, and I'm here for the 5th anniversary. I actually was a speaker in the very first Netroots Nation, which I think was called Yearly Coasts in the beginning. So I'm back for the 5th anniversary, and I'm really lucky to be speaking on 2 panels today.
The question we're asking everybody today is, what's next?
Ooh, you mean for me or for the country? Let's see, what's next? Well, I think what's next is a great challenge that faces progressives across our country to regroup and relearn how to communicate our values to the public. I really believe that the values that we hold are the values of the American public, and our great challenge that's up next is to communicate that effectively and gain the support we need for progressive change in our country.
How should we be communicating that more effectively?
Well, I think social media is an amazing tool. As an elected official, I use Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and Flickr every single day. And I think it's an amazing way to help get information out to people, but also to hear back from individuals. So I would encourage more elected officials to begin using social media and social networking sites. But I think overall, we should probably be focusing on connecting with the hearts and the minds of American voters. Sometimes as progressives, we spend too much time focused on facts and figures and fancy colored charts, and really what people want are common sense solutions to their everyday problems. So I think when we can learn to focus on talking about common sense solutions, pragmatic ways to solve the problems we face, people will really tap into that and appreciate it.
What kind of pragmatic solutions are you pushing, trying to accomplish in what you're doing?
Well, in Arizona, we have a lot of problems. So a couple of the things that I'm really focused on is working to find a common and pragmatic solution to our immigration problem. You know, it's a real crisis in Arizona and around the country. And we need a practical, common sense solution, and that needs to come from Congress. So I'm pushing hard to get Congress to pass comprehensive immigration reform that helps address this issue in a common sense and practical way. I'm also working on some budgeting issues. I think that we could see some reforms in the way that we do tax and fiscal policy and make a more common sense system so that people know exactly how much they have to pay and what they get back from the government in exchange.
For people looking outside into Arizona, we look and see this immigration law that got passed and we say, how the heck did that happen?
Yeah, well, the first thing I think that folks should know is that this was not new. This is not a surprise. You know, for 5 years, we've been fighting this legislation in Arizona, and for the first time this year, the bill passed. So this growing anti-immigrant sentiment has been a strategy on the part of the right for many years in Arizona. And I guess my message to folks around the nation would be to pay attention to what's happening in your state. Look at the messaging that's being used. Think about what your community is doing about immigrants and immigrant populations. And be careful, because if you're laying down on the job, then your state could turn into Arizona pretty quickly.
Anything else you want to add?
Well, I would invite people to check me out on Facebook, Kyrsten Sinema on Facebook, and Kyrsten Sinema on Twitter, pretty simple there. And I have a website, ksinema.org, and those are great places to stay up with me on what's happening in Arizona and the national work I'm doing on immigration, healthcare, and a whole host of progressive issues.
All right, well, thank you very much.
It's my pleasure.